Everything's already been said that has to be said. All the information you need to get rich is online. All the information you need to be happy is online. All the information you need to be fit is online. Every single thing you need is online now. Everyone has access to that information. So everything that has to be said has been said. But now the people who are uploading content like me, like others, they're only getting popular because they're targeting a specific group. And there will be a point where all the leaders of almost every group have been saturated. Now, this point in the future is very far out. And let me explain this point a little further. Let's say there are 1,000 different groups in the world, right? And this composes of all the 7 billion people. And of course, it's way more than this, right? There's a lot of subgroups and groups smaller than this. We're just keeping it 1,000 for simplicity. 1,000 people, that's about 7 million in each group, right? And each of these 7 million people has a specific thing that they like that is in common. Now, say for example, there's one group that likes cooking, right? If I'm going to that cooking group, there's going to be a lot of different people in that cooking group. There might be people who love Indian food. There might be people who love Mexican food, who love Chinese food, Japanese, Indonesian, all this stuff that's in that subcategory. Now, this is just one group. Keep this in mind. One group, just food, right? I'm just giving this example. Out of that 1,000 people, this is one group. And within the subgroup, let's say 2 million people love Indian food, right? Love Indian cooking. Now, if I went out there and I'm like, okay, I start uploading content for these Indian people. These people who want to cook Indian food in the food subgroup. All of a sudden, I have this group of 2 million people I can show how to cook Indian food. All of a sudden, right away. I just have to make this content that they will like. I show them how to cook, what makes them better cooks, what they need to use as spices, as ingredients, all that stuff. And all of a sudden, I have an audience of 2 million people. I'm making money. I'm making these guys happy. Now think, this is just one subgroup out of one big group, out of possibly even more thousands of groups. Think how many of these there are in the world. Nothing is truly saturated if you're the one saying it. Everything that we're saying now is just remixed to your own personal values. There are a lot of people out there just like you, or at least similar in some way or another. It could be 10,000, it could be 100,000, it could be 1,000,000, 10 million, 100 million people just like you. They want a solution, they want to fix their life. They want to cook food. They want to learn how to meditate. They want to learn how to work better. They want to do better at school. Every single subtopic, every single niche has something you can do. And again, keep in mind, 1,000 groups is just the small part. If you have one of those groups out of those 1,000, it has even more groups, probably 1,000 within that. Now we'll go with food again, right? So there's food, right? Food is the big group. And then underneath that, there's Indian, Indonesian, right? Chinese, Japanese, all that stuff. And then within that, there's even more. There may be Indian, someone who wants to learn how to cook food that is Indian, who is also raised in a place where wheat is more predominant. So you want to learn how to cook more with wheat. Perfect. Make a channel for that. Make content for that person. This may be a smaller group, maybe 200,000 people, but all of a sudden it's more concentrated. These people will be very loyal to you. They'll really, really want to listen to you. Because you are so specific to what they want. All of a sudden you want to provide them value. You have something to give to them. And think, so many groups. Food is just one example. There's gaming. So let's take gaming for example. Gaming. Underneath gaming, there's Fortnite, World of Warcraft, whatever other games are, Call of Duty, right? All this stuff. And between those, there's different types of people who play those games. There's Indian people, white people, Asian people, and they each have their own jokes they can tell that will relate to an audience. Think how many opportunities there are in the entire world that you can take right now, start uploading content, and start fulfilling that fantasy for that group to help them out. So here's the question you need to ask yourself. What do you know within any single group? It could be cooking, it could be fitness, it could be literally anything else that will help a small group of people. 1,000 people. What is something that you can give out that will help these 1,000 people that could possibly scale up to something higher? And once you start scaling, and this will be far out, you'll probably realize this by then. But once you start scaling, you realize all you have to do to kind of get to a bigger group of people. So say you start with Indian food cooking with that wheat. All you have to do is just go out into India and remove the wheat, right? All of a sudden you're cooking for Indian food people. And your audience expands by 10, 20 times more. Start what you're good at. It could be literally anything. It could be art on how to draw faces. Or maybe you're better at someone else at drawing noses, right? When you're drawing art. Or maybe you're really, really good at sales, right? Teach someone how to do sales. Maybe you're smart in chemistry, right? Open a chemistry tutoring thing on YouTube. I don't know, teach people chemistry through YouTube. It could be, I'm talking absolutely anything. Teach them how to do it. And I will guarantee you, if you do this for long enough, you will make money. You will cultivate an audience and you will make money. Find that subgroup, because everything that has to be said has been said. Now it's just remixed for different groups of people. You will target a different group of people just like you, who are out there waiting for some information that they need that's perfect for their situation. And you know that. You're just one step ahead of them in one way. Help them out.